Jack is back tonight. St. Louis Cardinals hopeful ace returns to the staff on a 60-pitch limit today as Jack Flaherty makes his 2022 season debut tonight against the Pirates. What to expect from Flaherty, how he got to this point, and what he means to this starting rotation. We're going to talk about it all, break it all down on today's episode number 2 of the day of Locked On Cardinals.
You are Locked On Cardinals, your daily St. Louis Cardinals podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Cardinals for Wednesday, June the 15th of 2022, the second episode of June 15th, of 2022. I am the host of the show, Lucas Smith. Find me on Twitter at LJ Fastball. You can also find the show on Twitter and Instagram at at LO_Cardinals, for all of your Locked On Cardinals needs. If you missed the first episode of the day today, go back and give it a watch, give it a listen, give it something. It was a great episode. I really enjoyed recording that one. It was about Miles Michaelis' near no-hitter, as well as talking about Paul Goldschmidt and the MVP caliber season that he is indeed having. This episode number 2 of the day, because I wasn't able to get one out yesterday. Allergies, lost a voice yesterday, wasn't really great, as you might be able to still tell a bit on the mend, but we're good to go for 2 episodes today. We're talking about the return of Jack Flaherty. Jack Flaherty will be making his 2022 season debut tonight for the St. Louis Cardinals. He'll be on a 60-pitch limit. Be a hard limit for him. So anywhere from 4, maybe 5 innings if he's really effective and really on it. But we will have to wait and see how effective he's going to be. But the 60-pitch limit is indeed what he's going to be. And this is a return that the Cardinals need desperately. And it's one that doesn't solve all problems automatically for the Cardinals' rotation help and pitching needs. It will solve a lot of problems if Flaherty pitches up to his standards and up to his potential. If he's able to pitch like he did in second half of 2019 and really pre-injury in 2021, then that does solve a lot of problems because that means Flaherty's going to come back and be your ace. But how did we get to this point for Flaherty? He came into the 2022 spring training from the get-go, really, with right shoulder inflammation. And that really didn't slow down at all. Obviously getting placed on the injured list, made a couple of rehab starts. His most recent one, he recorded 6 strikeouts for Memphis against the Durham Bulls. And Flaherty, up until a couple days ago, was scheduled to still be in Memphis and still be making his rehab start. This would have been likely his final rehab start if things went well, and he would get a start later. However, really honest conversations being reported by John Denton of MLB.com, who's the first man to break the news to my knowledge, as well as other people reporting this, honest conversations between Oliver Marmol, the Cardinals manager, and Jack Flaherty led to him saying, I would rather increase the intensity of what I'm doing rather than increase the workload. Because if he was in Memphis tonight, Flaherty would be going 75 pitches. Instead, the intensity is higher. It's ramped up. It's Major League Baseball, higher than minor league. No disrespect to minor league baseball. But the intensity ramped all the way up, but you're still at 60 pitches. And I think this is the type of manager that Marmol is, and I think this is huge. You know, the term, the label player's manager gets thrown around a lot, but I'm not really sure Marmol is a total player's manager. Players managers or player coaches really kind of get the rep of coaches running or players running. I'm just here to facilitate. Marmol, I think, is kind of a hybrid. Clearly, he trusts his players enough, trusts his team enough for his guys to tell him what's going on. Because if he didn't, Flaherty would be in Memphis tonight making a rehab start, and Andre Palante would be getting the start tonight. However, he trusts his guys enough to say, when Flaherty said, I want to do this, Marmol listened to him, they had a conversation, and now they're doing it. That, I think, is a great testament to the kind of manager Marmol is in saying that he will trust his guys Very, very much so. But he's still going to discipline his guys. We saw that with Bader. We've seen that this year. So I'm not saying he's a complete players manager and just lets the players run the show, but he's trusting Flaherty. And getting Jack Flaherty back for this team is huge. If Flaherty, again, is able to pitch to his potential, regardless, it's an arm in the rotation that is a bona fide, at minimum, starter. Because you look at Jack Flaherty's career numbers, his first taste of the major leagues in 2017, his first full year, 2018. He's got a 3.34 ERA, 93 games, 90 of those starts, 487 and a third innings pitched, whip of 1.07, 567 strikeouts. This was somebody who, even last year, was really, really good. And I think the biggest thing for me from Flaherty, when in the reports of him talking to Marmol, he said his stuff felt as good as it has since 2019. We all remember 2019, especially the second half. Final numbers for Flaherty in 2019, he was just 11-8, but a 2.75 ERA in 33 starts, 196 in the third innings pitched. His whip was a minuscule .968, led the league in that category, as well as hits per nine. Only gave up 6.2 hits per 9 innings. 231 strikeouts, ERA plus of 152, fourth in the Cy Young, 13th in the MVP voting. What really got him to that mark was the second half, because in the first half of the season, on 18 starts, he had a 4.64 ERA. 4-6, 97 innings pitched in 18 starts. Second half, 15 starts, 99 and a third innings pitched. He goes 7-2, a 0.91 ERA, strikes out 124 batters in the 99 and a third innings pitched. That is a historic second half for Flaherty. And if he says his stuff is there, or close to there, as close to there as it's ever been since that point, this league better watch out. And again, this goes to my point that I talked about at the beginning of this month, that this team is on a much different trajectory than they were June of 2021. In June 2021, you lose Flaherty. Wainwright's your only valuable pitcher. The offense is sputtering out of control. In June 2022, you've got Wainwright pitching well. You've got Michaelis pitching well. You've got Hudson pitching well. Jack Flaherty's on the way back. Hopefully he's 100% healthy. They did not rush Flaherty back. That was key. So Flaherty hopefully had the appropriate amount of time to recover, the appropriate amount of time to find his way back. Did not rush him. Did not risk any setbacks. Steven Matz had a setback. Flaherty did not. A healthy and performing, again, that is the key. A healthy and performing Jack Flaherty helps this rotation out a ton. So how does Jack Flaherty get there? Specifically, how does Jack Flaherty help this team? I'm excited for his return. I'll be tuned in tonight. I'm working, but I'm still going to be tuned in to the game and watching it, because even though it's only 60 pitches, this is really going to help the team. But when he comes back to a full-time starter, someone's got to go. And really, everybody has made this decision extremely difficult on Ollie Marmol and the coaching staff. We'll talk about that decision coming up here in just a moment. But first, I want to tell you guys about BlueNile.com, because whether you're ready to pop the question or you're celebrating a milestone moment, you can find jewelry as unique as your significant other with the modern convenience of online shopping at BlueNile.com. Blue Nile has simple online tools that let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as the setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her perfect engagement ring. Each ring is one of a kind. If you're looking for fine jewelry but you have trouble choosing, because I know I do, and I'll be using this tool when I go to Blue Nile has jewelry experts on hand 24/7. They are available via the phone or chat function to help you find a memorable gift at every single budget. Make your moment sparkle with jewelry from BlueNile.com. Locked On Sports listeners get $50 off purchases of $500 or more. This podcast exclusive includes engagement. Use code Locked On. That is code LOCKEDON for this incredible deal. Plus, every order is insured, ships free, and arrives in discreet packaging that won't give away what's inside. You can shop stress-free and find your forever piece today at BlueNile.com. Jack Flaherty, making 60 pitches today. That is his cap. That is what we're going to see from Flaherty today. But you have to remember, even pre-injury last year, this is not somebody that was just lost. Because in 2019, obviously the second half saved his season. I mentioned that he had the ERA above 4. It was 4.64 in the first half of 2019. And then the second half really saved his ERA, really brought down. It was historic. It was a great run. But even last season, he made 9 starts before getting hurt. And in the last season, he was really good before he got hurt. I beg your pardon. He made 11 starts before he got hurt. He was 8-1 in those starts. 62 innings pitched. He struck out 67, so 9.7 in Ks per nine. His WHIP was 1.03. Just 7 home runs, 44 hits. He was really, really, really good before he got hurt. I would argue, one could argue, ace-level type stuff from Jack Flaherty before he got hurt. So that to me, so it's not like we're only relying on the numbers, the stuff from 2019, the second half. That to me is why Jack Flaherty, his return is so important, because he showed that he has the capability at pitching at that level just last season. It was only for 11 starts. I get that, but it's there. The possible success is there. The stuff is there. To me, it's about control, and it's about establishing the inside part of the plate for Flaherty. That is the key, in my opinion, for Jack Flaherty to find success. Establish that fastball in, work with your slider away off of that. Jack Flaherty returning, as I talked about in the segment number 1, means somebody's got to go. And everybody in the starting rotation right now has made this a hard decision for Oliver Marmol and company. Especially, you're just days away, you're only a few days removed from you saying Andre Pallante is a starter, and Pallante, the scheduled starter for today, is coming in relief of Jack Flaherty. The starting rotation right now, without Flaherty, Wainwright, Michaelis, Hudson, Pallante, Liberatore. In all honesty, and again, this could just be recency bias on the way they're pitching right now, that's not a bad starting 5. It's just not. Flaherty coming back means one of those has to go. The Cardinals could go a couple different routes, in my opinion, with what they want to do. They could put Pallante back to the bullpen, get yourself a 4th reliable arm in the bullpen, keep your swingman in the bullpen, allow him to make spot starts every once in a while, leave Liberatore in until you get Matz back in the bump, or even Hicks. But I think when Hicks comes back, personally, that Hicks should be in the bullpen. So that's one route. The other route is that since you just said Pallante is going to be a starter, you want to stick to that. You want to keep Pallante in the starting rotation, which is fine. Liberatore goes back to the minor leagues. If Pallante moves to the bullpen, obviously you're going to see somebody sent down. Maybe a Naughton or somebody of that nature. Wickren, maybe. Not going to be Verhagen. But you're going to see somebody sent down. You're going to have to be. I think both of those options, both those routes for the Cardinals have pros and cons to them. Because either way, whether you leave Pallante in the rotation or you leave Liberatore in the rotation, you've got a young gun with great stuff that can have success at the major league level. And Pallante has been a find out of the bullpen this year that has earned some starting spots. So the con with leaving Pallante in the rotation and setting Liberatore down, or the cons, I should say. But the first one that comes to mind is that your bullpen stays where it's at. You don't gain anybody in the bullpen. You just lose a starter. And the bullpen still has to find a way to rely on the guys not named Genesis Cabrera, Giovanni Gallegos, and Ryan Helsley. They were doing it for a while because you had Pallante in there as well as a 4th option. So that's the big con. The other con is that we don't get to see Matthew Liberatore. And despite only going 5 innings in his last start, and it being against the Pirates, it was 5 shutout innings. It was a 98-degree day, felt like 110 at one point during the day, in a day game. So that the elements probably didn't help him out there. So the twofold con to leaving Pallante in would be no Liberatore and no bullpen help. If Marmol wants to backtrack, and not to say this is a bad thing, but if they want to go back on saying Pallante as a starter, and you move Pallante to the bullpen, send a bullpen arm down, Liberatore stays in the rotation until Matt stays in. The con there is that you're losing Plante in the rotation and that you're messing with his development because you're going, he's an in-between guy. Is he a starter, reliever? I don't know. That could mess with his health. That could have long-term effects. Could. Going back and forth like that. The pros to leaving Liberatore in the rotation and moving Plante back to the bullpen is, as I said already, you've got Liberatore in the rotation, and he has been exciting to watch, finally getting to see him in the big leagues. And you've got Andre Palante as another weapon in the bullpen. And the bullpen gets some much-needed insurance, much-needed reinforcements, rather. As now you have a fourth option in the bullpen. You keep your swingman there. You've got some long relief options outside of Wickert and Verhagen and Cabrera, who I guess is qualified to be a long reliever. And the pros to leaving Palante in the rotation and sending Liberatore down. Liberatore still gets to work at the minor league level. Maybe he gets to work on a couple of key things, knowing that he can do it at the major league level. And Palante gets more shots to be a starter because Palante 100% has earned those shots. But again, no matter which option the Cardinals go with, because the reason I say Liberatore and Palante are the two, it's because Michaelis is not being sent down or released or moved to the starting role. I just talked about him earlier today as a dark horse Cy Young candidate. Adam Wainwright's name is Adam Wainwright, and he's pitching extremely well, even though he's 40 years old, so he's not going anywhere. And Dakota Hudson has shown a lot of potential this year to keep earning starts. So Liberatore and Palante are the two options to go down. Regardless, the key man in all of this is obviously Jack Flaherty. Which Jack do we get? Do we get the Jack Flaherty of 2019 second half, first 11 starts of 2021? Do we get the Jack Flaherty that struggles coming off of injury late 2021? Do we get the Jack Flaherty that struggled in the first half of 2019, got blew up a little bit in 2020? Which Jack do we get? Because regardless, the Cardinals need starting pitching help. And just getting an arm isn't good enough. I have faith in Flaherty, especially in tonight's game, because after all, it is against the Pirates. I have faith in Flaherty to get the job done. The metrics, according to John Denton, back up Flaherty's claim that his stuff feels as good as it did in 2019, the second half of 2019. The stuff, to me, has never been an issue for Flaherty. Whether he's at his best or at his worst. Obviously, you've got days mixed in between there that, your stuff isn't there, different days. But overall, on his, from the best to the worst, Flaherty has the stuff. The fastball is electric, especially when he's able to establish it on the inside corner. The fastball plays at the major league level. The curveball is good enough. Working on a little bit of a changeup and a cutter, if I remember correctly, as well. That slider, though, is a wipeout pitch for Flaherty. So that's why I said in the first segment, if the stuff is there, I'm trusting Flaherty to get this. That's a big reason why Marmol trusted Flaherty, because the stuff is indeed there. Both according to Flaherty and the sabermetrics tend to back that up, again, according to John Denton of MLB.com. I really am excited to see Flaherty pitch at the major league level. He is somebody that has a lot of hype around him. And when he's pitching well at the end of the day, too, he's fun to watch. Because I think he's kind of a hybrid of what we're seeing from a guy like Wainwright versus a guy like Helsley, right? And what I mean by that is Wainwright, stuff might not be exceptional. He has to know how to pitch. Changes speeds, locates, up, down, in, out, fast curve, cutter, moves it around. Helsley, fastball, slider, the stuff plays. Yes, Helsley knows how to pitch. You can't just throw. But the stuff for Helsley is a big reason of the increased success this year. He has found the stuff. Flaherty, I think it's a hybrid because he knows how to pitch and his stuff is in the upper echelon. So he's a solid pitcher. The next step is executing his stuff, as he uses that word all the time, need to execute. So the next step is to execute the stuff and pitch. Locate. That's going to be a key for Jack Flaherty as he makes his season debut. Game 4, also lost in all of this, not lost in it, but also involved in all of this is the fact that the Cardinals are going for a 4-game sweep with the Pirates in 3 days. So Jack Flaherty gets the ball. Andre Palante is in relief. And then the offense is going up against Pirate right-hander Rosney Contreras. Contreras, big name for the Pirates prospect. We'll talk about him coming up in a moment, as well as how the Cardinals can be successful here in game number 4 in 3 days against Pittsburgh Pirates. But first, I want to tell you guys about a next product that is incredible. It tastes good. It is healthy. That is Athletic Greens. What is this stuff? With one delicious scoop of AG1 Athletic Greens, you are absorbing 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens that help you start your day right. The special blend of ingredients supports your gut health, your nervous system, your immune system, your energy, recovery, focus, and aging. It helps so many things. It's incredibly healthy, and it is lifestyle friendly because whether you eat keto, vegan, dairy-free, gluten-free, paleo, whatever it is lifestyle friendly. It contains less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals or artificial anything, and it still tastes good. But it is also incredibly cost effective as it costs you less than $3 a day. You are investing in your health, and it's cheaper than your cold brew habit. It's also cheaper than getting all the different supplements yourself because you are investing in an all-in-one nutritional insurance. Right now is the time to reclaim your health and your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just 1 scoop of water every day. That is it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/MLB network. Again, that is athleticgreens.com/MLB network to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Also want to tell you about BetOnline.net as it is your number 1 source for all of your betting stats and sports info. You can find all the latest sports developments, news, and odds, including this year's basketball championship matchup, the NHL Conference Finals, and now Stanley Cup Finals, Major League Baseball, and, of course, the latest fighting news from MMA and UFC to boxing. BetOnline is your continued source for all of your sport wagering information. This includes live betting, esports, and more. Head to the website today to see what more I'm talking about. Be sure to use that mobile device as well to learn about the trends and action because BetOnline is where the game starts. Flaherty versus Contreras today for the Cardinals and the Pirates. Before I get there, I do want to tell you about the Ultimate NBA Mock Draft as well. That is starting tomorrow, June the 16th. They have over 50 insiders. Nothing equals the Ultimate NBA Mock Draft with the Locked On NBA Big Board Draft experts plus Odyssey insiders. First pick is tomorrow, June the 16th. Be sure to search the Ultimate NBA Mock Draft and follow it so you don't miss a pick. Rosney Contreras will be making his 8th appearance at the Major League level, his 5th start, and he's really impressed so far. He's 1-1 with a 2.57 ERA. Again, in 4 starts. His last appearance came on the 10th of June against the Atlanta Braves. He was tagged with a loss on that one, going just 4 2/3 of an inning with 4 runs, 3 earned, 8 hits, a home run. He did strike out 7 in that game. Contreras is one of the pitchers that the Pirates are most high on for their future. His first 3 games or 4 or 5 games came out of the bullpen again before the last couple of starts as he makes his 5th start tonight against the St. Louis Cardinals. So the Cardinals do have some experience against Contreras. Arenado's 1 for 1. Everybody else is hitless in 1 to 2 at-bats because the time that Contreras did face the Cardinals was all the way back on April the 9th. He goes an inning and 2/3, gives up 2 hits, 2 earned runs, hit a man, walked 2, did not strike out anybody. Since then, he has not faced the St. Louis Cardinals, so they will get their second look at the right-hander wears number 59 for the Pirates. The Cardinals will be looking for offensive success as they go for a sweep. Lineup hasn't been released yet at the time of this recording. I know that you had a doubleheader yesterday. You might be trying to rest guys, get an off day tomorrow, travel day. If I'm Ollie Marmol, I'm leaving the pedal to the metal. I talked about it on every episode this week. Monday, the one today, and now I'm talking about it tonight. today, right now. The Cardinals need to take advantage of this schedule. The goal is 3-4 against the Pirates, in my opinion. That's great. Go for the sweep. Go for the jugular. The Brewers tonight are at the Mets. Brewers have Burns. Mets have Peterson. You have to think that advantage goes to the Brewers. Tomorrow, in an off day when the Brewers have a free day to pick up a half a game, Mets send out Tyler McGill to the mound. Brewers sending Aaron Ashby. And then the Brewers are at Cincinnati this week, where the Cardinals are against the Red Sox, the really good Red Sox team. I understand if you got to find some rest for for a guy or two, but Goldschmidt needs to hit. Arenado needs to hit. You need to have your regulars out there, even though it's the Pirates. 4 games in 3 days. It's been ungodly hot outside. Put your pedal to the metal. Put your regular 9 out there. Get 60 pitches from Flaherty. Hopefully that's 4 innings. Let Palante go 4 or 5. I think the perfect recipe for success tonight for the Cardinals. Offensively, do what you've been doing. Let Goldschmidt hit. Gorman's hitting. Arenado's starting to hit the ball hard as well. Edmonds on fire. Keep things rolling offensively. That's not the concern. A perfect night tonight for the Cardinals, in my opinion. Flaherty for 4. Palante for 5. That's a tall ask. Well, it won't be easy because it's a hot night. You just don't know what you're going to get. But 60 pitches over 4 innings, I think, is solid. And if Flaherty gets through 4 innings on 50 to 55 pitches, probably going to see him not stay in the game, and you're going to see Palante coming after that. Palante hopefully comes in on no pitch count, just regular, go out there and get a start. I'm really excited for Jack Flaherty. I remember in August of 2021 was the first show that I did on YouTube, and it was Jack Flaherty's return after being hurt. It was against the Kansas City Royals, if I remember correctly. So this is kind of not full circle because there's not really anything monumental about today other than Flaherty coming back, but gives me deja vu of that, and Flaherty impressed in that start again, if I remember correctly. So we'll see if Flaherty can impress once again tonight. So if you didn't watch or listen to the first episode of the day today, I highly encourage you to do so. Talked about Michaelis, talked about Goldschmidt. It was a fun episode to record, just as this one was. So I appreciate everybody listening today to this episode and last. Be sure to listen to both. They are both great ones. These are 2 of my favorites that I've recorded in a while, especially the one earlier today. So be sure to give that a listen or a watch. Be sure to subscribe on the YouTube channel. Upwards of 1,020 subscribers as we keep improving. So thank you very much for that. You can follow along on any podcasting platform as well. Be sure to leave a rating where possible. Leave your thoughts as well. Follow me on Twitter at LJ Fastball. Follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at LO_Cardinals. Email the show anytime at lockedoncards@gmail.com. One more thing to say. Be sure to listen to Locked On MLB with our pal Sully as well, as he gives you his take on the majors past and present. And it's a complete, great rundown. So go listen to Locked On MLB. Tomorrow, recapping Jack Flaherty's start, kind of resetting the stage. Friday's episode will be a preview of the Boston Red Sox series as 2004-2013 relive this weekend in Fenway. So until I talk to everybody, until I talk to y'all tomorrow, talking about Flaherty's start, be sure to stay safe, stay well, and have a fantastic rest of your day.